Hey everyone, it's David Natter with All Country Outdoors, and I killed an awesome buck up in Ohio a couple days ago, and I wanted to actually start the video a little bit different than what I usually do. You know, we usually show me getting in a tree stand, sitting there in the whole 9 yards, and I try to make these videos as short as I possibly can. I don't want to try to bore anybody with a bunch of useless information, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to run through my sponsors on this a little bit. The Grim Reaper Broadheads, the SA Sports crossbows, we use all my sponsors we actually use in the field, and that's the reason I do these videos, and I try to share some information on those products, and you know, some details that you know that may help you. The Grandpa Special Mix, you know what I mean. Everybody that you know follows us knows the products we use, and man, we have some awesome sponsors. But I've got some pretty good video on this deer. I watched him. He come in about daylight. Honestly, when I first seen him, he was actually standing about 75 yards from the feeder and down over an old haul road. And I actually just seen him standing down there. When it got daylight, that deer, I noticed something standing down there, you know, out of the way, and I could tell, you know, it was a really nice buck. We run the Reveal X Pro cameras on this feeder right here. And guys, I'm gonna tell you something about trail cameras. I mean, Reveal by Tactacam. I mean, they have an awesome camera. It gives you so much information. You guys that, you know, don't use the cameras, I mean, these things, man, I'll tell you what, I mean, they'll show you the time they're coming in, the days they're coming in. I had about 3 or 4 pictures of this deer, and nothing, you know what I mean, it didn't seem like this year here, it just seemed like the deer never done the same thing twice. But those cameras, I'll tell you what, man, they'll really open the whole world. They're there 24/7. I mean, they'll open up a lot of information for you for using that. And I definitely want to give them a plug. I mean, it's part of the reasons that I was hunting this feeder, because I did get pictures of this buck. And the Grandpa Special Mix, we use them. I've been using Don's feed for years, his mineral and his feed. Man, he got some awesome products. And the Grim Reaper Broadheads, you guys can tell by this shot. I mean, this deer, I hit it like right in a 12 ring. It was standing at a little bit more of an angle than what I thought. The camera work on this thing is, as usual, is pretty bad. Honestly, I was concentrating so hard. The deer would come up to maybe 50 yards, and I would think about taking a shot. And I was like, you know, I've done this a long time, and just be patient and you know, let him come on up in here. And I end up doing that. But in the process, I'm doing this concentration on this deer, and I stop looking at the rack. The minute I can tell a deer's a nice deer, I start watching that kill area, and the more it opens up, I've got the safety off, you know, on my SA Sports crossbows, and I concentrate so much on that shot. But like I say, he was standing at a pretty steep angle, and I really didn't realize that, but it was a 35-yard shot. I held a 30-yard pin just you know, real tight on him, and squeezed the trigger, and hit like I say, right behind the front shoulder, passed through the lung, through the liver, and actually come out the guts. That's the reason I never found a whole lot of blood on this thing. That's some of the information, like I say, that I just wanted to pass on with you guys. And it actually went through and broke his back leg. I mean, the Grim Reaper Broadheads and our SA Sports crossbows, our Prime 1 camouflage, I mean, all the products we use, totally believe in them. I mean, we use them for a reason. But anyway, this deer, where the hole, I know some of this stuff's a little bit graphic, but where the hole where his guts comes out, sometimes if you get a shot on it, you can hit a deer perfect, and they still within 8 or 10 seconds, 12 seconds, you'd be shocked how far, you know, a big old strong buck can go in that length of time. And another tip for you guys, you'll see by the video, I find this deer, man, right in the bottom of a holler, actually tucked underneath a bank. I mean, he couldn't have been alive over 10 seconds, I guarantee you that. And how that deer covered that ground, and had enough thought process to be like, okay, I'm going to go hide. But I lost blood, come back up, and took off all my heavy gear. Man, it was cold that morning. Took off all my heavy coat and stuff that I had on, and stripped down as light as I could. I took my bow, put my camera in my pocket, and had you know, a broadhead and a bolt and everything on my bow, and I'm easing down through there and lose blood. And I'm like, I've been doing this a long time, like I say, and I'm like, that deer's dead. I mean, I knew that deer was dead. And me not being able to find it, you know what I mean, I was panicking out some myself, and I just thought that deer is going to go downhill to the thickest wet cover, you know, in the creek. I knew he was. So I actually cut off to my left without any blood or anything. I cut off to my left about 100 yards, got in that creek and started going down through there. And I actually walked within about 30 yards of that deer before I even seen him. And you could tell by the video, he's got his head up. And I'm like, now I'm thinking that deer still alive. I didn't make the shot that I thought I did because his head was up. And then, you know, as I'm take the safety off my bow and I'm really watching him, you know, and you can tell by the video that, I mean, he's got a head up, but his tongue's out. I mean, I can tell he's stone cold dead and had been dead. I mean, he was stiff. I mean, that deer had been dead a long time, and hopefully, you know, he didn't suffer long, but we do the best we can as hunters and make the best shots we can with the best equipment we can. But like I say, I'm trying to throw some tips on this thing to help some of you guys. You know what I mean? All of our shots are not perfect. The guts actually sealed that thing up, so he was bleeding inside. I mean, the deer was full of blood, and big old body, strong deer, man. I tell you what, they have a strong will to survive. And anyway, guys, you guys sit back, and I hope you enjoy this footage. I apologize for not having all this zoomed in and real tight like I should have, but I hunt by myself, and I hunt a lot of days, and I don't know of any camera guy that would want to hang out with me, you know what I mean, through through October and November. I think you'd have a miserable job. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope you enjoy some of this footage. And like I say, check out all of our sponsors here at All Country Outdoors. We definitely show them using those, you know, in the field, and we put them to work, I'm telling you. Appreciate all you guys, and I hope you enjoy this. Thank you. honestly, since daylight. Oh my God. I didn't think he's ever gonna come on up in here. It's about 35 yards. I mean, that's a long shot right there. It looked like it hit him really good. Oh my God. Man, I'm tore up. I'm not kidding you. Oh my God, guys, we found our deer, man. I'm telling you what. Lord have mercy, I'm one happy camper there. You guys seen me shoot a couple bear this year up in Boone County in West Virginia. And I bought Ohio hunting license again this year. Thought I'm going down here and try it. I got a picture actually of a couple nice bucks. I killed a big old buck out of here. It's been, God, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that. And with my buddy Bill, he let me hunt his property. And I mean, this place is awesome. But started getting pictures of this deer here, and this deer actually looks like that deer a little bit. I mean, he's not quite as heavy, but beautiful deer, and he's got the same abnormal G2s, you know, off on his side, and just love this deer, man, I'm telling you. But I want to tell you guys a little bit about the recovery of this deer. You know, I shoot Grim Reaper broadheads, and I love them. And guys, I'm going to tell you, it's none of my business what kind of broadheads you shoot. Ain't nothing to me kind of deal. You know what I mean? I try to promote what I use. I've used Grim Reaper broadheads, I don't know, for years. I mean, honestly. Killed hogs, turkeys, alligators. I mean, a little bit of everything with them things. And they're not indestructible. They're not perfect, but they're as close to perfect as any broadhead I've ever used. This deer here, I shot him. Wasn't exactly sure of the hit. I waited an hour. I want to share that with you guys. For any of you young hunters, or any hunter really, it's hard to sit there and wait in your stand after you shot a nice deer an hour. You know, you worry about somebody finding it, you worry about all kinds of stuff goes through your head, but you're better off, and I'm talking about watching your watch hour, you know what I mean? Not, it feels like an hour, you know what I mean? When you shot a big old buck, man, time just like seems like it drags by. Got down, never found a whole lot of blood, never did find my arrow. And I seen where he stumbled and went down over the hill there. Found some blood down through there. Found really good blood, and for about the first 50 yards. And then after that, it turned and actually run down an old haul road in there, just dirt. Never found any blood on that daggone haul road, but I seen big slide marks, huge tracks, you know, where he went down through there. And I went back up the truck, took all my hunting stuff off, dressed as light as I could, threw my camera in my pocket, and took off, and couldn't find any more blood. I mean, I looked probably, I don't know, for an hour. And I thought, I'm going to tell you guys something. If you ever shoot a deer, and I'm talking about even on a lethal hit, I'm talking about 150 yards, they will go toward the creek. I mean, the bottom, roughest part of the holler that you got, if they can get there, that's what they do. This deer here actually come off the top of the ridge, a couple 100 yards, and run right down this haul road, because I can see his tracks. I mean, I don't think there'd be two deer with the feet. I mean, this thing's a giant deer. And turn and run right up this holler. And this deer, I'm gonna show him to you here now. That's a tip I wanted to take with you, is just, you know, always look in the bottoms of the hollers. I mean, that's, man, ain't he a beautiful deer. Tell you what, check that out. That's almost the exact same size that I guess he's pawpaw, some genetics anyway in him. But look where he died. He crawled right underneath that old root wad right here. I mean, like right down in the creek. That's what I want you to get out of this. I mean, us hunters, we use the best equipment we can get our hands on, and try to make the best shots we can make. You know, we're humans, but that's a tip that you don't want to forget. I mean, if you do lose blood, there's nothing wrong with calling a dog. I mean, that was going to be my next step, because I don't want to lose any. I'd look just as hard for it though. But like I say, I want to share the recovery with you on this thing right here and talk to you a little bit. Like I say, you can see where you come actually right down that trail right here, and right underneath this old root wad in here, and died. But that's what I'm saying. He's right in this creek, the lowest part of this creek he could get. Snuggled right back up again that bank and laid there and died. Appreciate you guys, man, and I'll tell you what, I'm tickled to death. And God's been good to me. I'll tell you what, this morning, He's really blessed me this year for sure. He blesses me every year and every day, but my grandkids and my kids, you know, you guys know what I mean. But it humbles. I mean, this right here will humble you. You wasn't sure you're going to find him, you know, and you look hard. You know, sometimes, I mean, you can't make a perfect shot all the time, but your equipment absolutely can make a difference. Are all the equipment that I use perfect? No, they are not, but they absolutely work. Appreciate all you guys, and good luck this season.